Welcome to The Venus Files.
I'm Talia.
I'm Stephanie.
I'm Darylyn.
And I'm Carmen.
Well, we're back, ladies.
Yes,
we are.
I missed y'all.
I know. It's been a minute.
Yeah, and let me just tell you, being in y'all's presence brings me joy.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
we need some joy.
We do.
Yeah.
So today, really what we're going to be talking about is those moments of joy. Like, how do you find your happy place in the midst of everything going on? Because, y'all, there is so much going on.
much going on.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
How are you feeling? Like, overall, like...
It's been a rough week.
Yeah.
It definitely. I had to kind of log off
Same.
for a moment because I found myself kind of like hyperventilating, and then like calling my husband like, "What you doing? Don't make sure you don't stop by this store because he work in Dallas. Like, make sure you don't do this. Make sure you don't do that." And then he was even out one night when the protest kind of turned into something else, and he was like, "Do you know they had the streets blocked off?" And it just gave me anxiety, and I was just the reality of that is like, dang, if he doesn't come home, like, what does my life look like?
Right.
And it's so sad that even in 2020, we have to still think about those things. I mean, of course, there's other things that go on, but just the whole part of us just being African American and still being preyed on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's why it's been difficult for me.
It's been tough.
I will say it's nice to talk to y'all about it just because we all are married to black men.
Yes.
And they do add so much value to our lives.
Yes.
Like, it's actually terrifying to the point where we have to like make sure life insurance policies are together. Like, that's the reality of what we're dealing with. And it's terrifying and it sucks, and you really hit on the nose when you said like having to log off and just kind of get away, because at
That's
this
so
point
important.
it's so much.
Yeah.
And I need a break, and I'm not at the point where I'm still processing it all of being sad to pissed off, quite frankly.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, you gotta kind of tap out and get away from it.
Absolutely. I think you said it great. Like I think you posted, you're normally like a Martin, and then you're having like your Malcolm moments, you know? And it is. It's all
It's
the
like
emotions.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's tough. I think for me, I'm upset that I'm scared. I don't want to be scared.
Right.
I don't want to
You
be
shouldn't
scared.
have to be scared.
And it's like, that's no way to live. And it's like, I'm just scared. I'm scared that I can be asleep and somebody can bust into my apartment and shoot me. You know?
Go back to work.
They thought that this person was
Right.
selling drugs or
Right.
Yeah.
you know, or my husband, he's a runner, he goes running. You know, if he goes out to run, it's like he might not come home. Like, it's just scary to think about those things. And it's just like,
And not having control. Because usually you think, oh, I'm a good person. I do these things by the book. And none of that really matters.
it doesn't.
It's just based on
Right.
someone's
How you look.
perception.
Right.
It doesn't matter because, you know, like right now we look all put together, but I go to Walmart sometimes not looking like how I would normally present myself.
Yeah.
And that could give someone a different view of me.
Right.
You know, and it's so sad that someone looks at you just for how the color of your skin, the amount of melanin in your skin.
Yeah. I think another thing that's kind of been infuriating for me, because there's such a movement going on now, and everybody from black, white, brown, everyone is starting to hear what's going on. And I appreciate that, but it also now I'm still upset. Because the George Floyd thing was like a trigger and a spark went off. And maybe it's because of quarantine, everybody's home. Maybe more people are watching the news.
Yeah.
But it's like everybody's yelling Black Lives Matter. They've been mattered. Like Trayvon was killed back when I was still in college. I cried then.
Yeah.
So I'm excited that everybody's all fired up more than ever. But where you been at?
Yeah.
So that pisses me off too. I felt you at the party, but you late.
But it took other countries to
Right.
have to, you know, protest and be involved.
How
and
embarrassing. Like, they're looking at us crazy on the news worldwide.
I just think it's just this time around, it's so much more than just police brutality. It's who our president is. You know, it's the laws. It's so much now when it comes to us as black people. So it's like, yeah, the Trayvon, all that stuff happened, and we were mad then too. But now it's more stuff. It's like the financial part. It's the presidency. It's everything, and then police brutality. It's just the COVID, the being out of work. You know, we're stressed.
Right.
We're tired.
Yeah.
It's not just this thing. It's just so much now. And I think it's just like with us as humans. You know how somebody may do something to you and you let it slide, you mad. But when they keep doing it, it's like a bully.
It's a bully.
It's like, okay, now I'm about to fire back. And I just feel like that's what's happening.
Yeah.
And we're tired.
And people have
We're mad. We're angry.
People have a lot more time on their hands now because they're at home.
We don't have jobs now. We don't have any money. We can't pay our bills.
Right.
Yeah.
We're getting killed. Our businesses are being destroyed. The president. We mad. We tired.
So do you think it would have had this big of an effect if it wasn't after COVID? Like almost like God's timing, you know? Like did COVID kind of have to, I don't know, sit the world still for a moment?
I feel like it slowed down because people now are focused more on family and family values because they've had to kind of step away from all the like mainstreams of life and the luxuries of life, and you're like, dang, family really like is really important. And then he gets murdered. And then you're like, well, now his family is mourning because of someone thinking he may have forged a check or whatever the
$20,
whatever it was,
right? But it's just like,
and so I think people are like, oh my God, like we're infuriated for his family. So people are actually looking at his situation as if it were them or their loved one. They're taking it more personally.
It's so relatable now.
It is,
right?
It could be any of us.
It's always been relatable to me though.
Yeah.
Same.
well, absolutely.
Same.
It's like who's going to be the next almost like hashtag.
Yeah.
And
It's like
sad.
just
Like
don't
you
want
have
to
to think
imagine
about that because, like you said, we think about our husbands and
And
fathers
us too.
and brothers.
It's happening to us women.
That's true.
And it's happening to us women.
It's happening to us too. It's black people. They don't like us.
I like us.
I love us.
I love us.
I love
like
us.
y'all. That's why I said I'm happy just to be in this moment with y'all and just kind of get away. The computer's not on. I'm not on my phone.
Right.
Like, let's just chat. So I kind of want to know, and I know we all want to know from each other.
Yeah.
What are you doing to have those moments of joy? How do you smile these days? if you do smile, because quite frankly, you might be in a space where that's just not happening, and that's fine. So what helps? Or I want to know.
I mean, you said it, having the moments to just talk and vent, and like I said, to feel like I'm not alone, like the anger that I feel, the sadness, the frustration, the fears. So that helps, but I'm still struggling. Trying to find that moment and trying to contain the anxiety and not be so overbearing on like my husband, like when he leaves the house. But I mean, I am more prayerful and I'm praying over him and over all men, all black men. It's just brought me closer in my spiritual life, but I'm still trying to find those moments where I am genuinely just having joy and not still having like that fear or that anxiety kind of in the back of my head. Like,
That's all legit.
For me, it's doing something that I have control over. So of course, people know I love like pole fitness and just like working out. So I do have control over my fitness level. I do have control over what I eat or things like just taking back control of things that I know I can control. That gives me joy, and also just really appreciating the time and taking in the interaction that he has with our daughter. And taking more pictures and candid pictures and just seeing like how happy she is with him. Because even though we are talking about police brutality and just the instance of death, that can be it for any one of us. It doesn't have to be race related. It can be something else. You know, it can be a lightning strike. It can be a car accident. It can be anything. So just me slowing down and saying, oh my God, like look how happy I am in this moment. And just looking at things in the moment. And being more present, I guess is what I'm saying.
That's huge.
That's really good, Carmen.
I'm gonna try that.
I'm
gonna try that.
Because we're so like fly by night people. We're like, oh, gotta do this, and just stopping. And it's like, oh my gosh, this really makes me happy, makes me smile. And just taking a moment and bookmark that in my brain.
And you said something interesting about life insurance. I mean, even at our age, like that's important.
You know,
like it really, truly is.
I don't
life
and a lot of people don't have life insurance.
I do not want a GoFundMe account
No.
to try to handle my arrangements.
No.
So that maybe that needs to be a discussion, ladies.
That
Maybe we
does,
can talk to a financial advisor, get somebody on to discuss it. But I think it's an issue, especially in our community,
Absolutely.
and it's lacking. So I think it's something that needs to be addressed. And I think it's hard to talk about because people don't want to think about it.
Right.
But it's
very
but
true.
it's very real.
Yes.
It's very real. So
It sure
just
does.
something to think
happens
about.
to us
I
all.
actually am doing the opposite of what you said, like how
Okay.
you, and maybe I need to kind of switch gears. I like how you said, like take a picture, take a moment, slow down, and live in that. I've been doing the opposite with everything going on. It helps me to stay busy, so that I'm not thinking about the reality of the situation. So I'm still working. I'm still selling houses. There's still a 9-month-old running around. I'm still a wife. Like I stay with a to-do list. Like wake up in the morning, try to get a workout in, meditate, whatever it is. But my schedule is, I time block my schedule for the day. 8 to 9 I'm doing this, 9 to 10 I'm doing this, just to keep my mind off of it.
Yeah.
Because the more I think about it,
Yeah.
you know, like I get upset.
Yes.
So that's what I'm the opposite of staying busy.
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong. It
Yeah.
just depends on what you need in that moment. Like you said, some days I am keeping myself more busy, but I think I take control by logging off too.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So that kind of gives me more of like, and I hate to say ignorance is bliss, but man, it just hits you. Like, it's like
does.
all down the timeline.
It's
Just,
everywhere.
yes. And it's just, and then of course I'm inclined to click the video,
Yes.
then
Yeah.
click
Yeah.
the comments, and then get mad at the
And then
comments.
read it.
And I'm like, why am I doing this to
Yeah.
myself? It just,
Yeah.
I can feel my
not
heart race. My
helping.
watch is going off. I'm
Yeah.
like,
It's not helping.
no, it's not.
Yeah.
And it doesn't change the reality of the situation.
Yeah.
You know, it's not that I'm trying to minimize it. It's just for me, I have to take a step back so I can still do what I need to do.
Right.
That's self-care.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's so true.
Facts.
Yeah, like whatever you need for yourself,
Yes.
do it. And
Do
have
it.
zero guilt about it.
Exactly.
So I'm here for it, Carmen.
Yeah.
Shut it off if you need to shut it off.
I saw a post because I've been off social media for a minute, but I saw a post that said it's okay to find moments of joy during this time, because I know some people, some of my friends that I've talked to, they felt bad for celebrating and being happy during this time with everything that's going on, because they feel like they should just be focused on what's going on. And I kind of felt that way too, like I shouldn't be celebrating this, or I shouldn't be, you know, but at the same time too, that's life, you know, bad things happen. It's going to continue to happen. But to keep you sane, you have to find something that's going to bring you a little joy. I'm going to be honest, for me, I'm struggling. And maybe God is trying to show me different ways to find that joy, because I looked for it and going out and doing this, and because all of that has stopped, it's like, what can you control? What do you have at home that you can figure out how to bring you joy? Because these people are not going to be here all the time. That restaurant is not open.
Right.
That's not available right now.
Yeah.
So what do you have in your home? What do you have in your space that can give you some joy? So it's just like God is like trying to change my perspective. So it's just like the little things. I'm blessed that I have food. I'm happy that with COVID, our financial situation hasn't really changed. I'm blessed to have my husband here. I'm just trying to find little things.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna stand on those little things.
I love that.
Absolutely.
I love that. Like, how do I find joy in what I just have by myself? Because quarantine shut everything down. Y'all know me. I like to be out. I want to go to brunch on Saturday and Sunday. And, you know, my favorite restaurant is still not open. So you're right.
And just life itself.
Yeah.
Like, I'm happy to be alive. You know, like I'm trying not to get emotional, but that's joy within itself.
Absolutely.
Because you just never know.
You don't.
You just never know. So the fact that I'm here, that's joy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That's joy. Like, I'm alive today.
Yeah. And it's taught me even forgiveness, you know, not holding on to things if there's just any situations with people, family members, whatever, just forgiving and just being in, like you said, in the moment and loving, you know, and kind of coming together, connecting, unifying, and hopefully that's what we're seeing it in the world. So
We are.
hopefully
Yeah,
it just
we are.
continues
Right.
and, you know, change is coming.
Yeah.
I think in addition to that, you hit something. I don't know if y'all remember on a previous episode, we talked about giving our husbands grace.
Yes. Yes.
And how we always want grace for ourselves, we have to give our husbands grace.
Yeah.
I feel like, as hard as this is, and you don't have to because we're still working on ourselves, but I think that, work in progress.
Yeah.
I think that we should, or if we can, try to extend grace to others outside of our homes. And I say this from a background of, I'm a very brown skinned woman, but I'm from Phoenix, Arizona.
Me too.
We're from Phoenix, Arizona. And so with that, I grew up with a lot of Caucasian people.
Me too.
And I've had a lot of them reach out and say, hey, Steph, what's up? Like, I didn't really know. I was blind to this. I didn't know. I don't know. I want to know.
Right.
And so many people are trying now. I'm not going to say everybody is, but so many people are trying. So I say that to say I appreciate that.
Yes.
But then I also have to extend a little grace to them because like I said a minute ago, how I'm frustrated, like everybody's trying to jump on the bandwagon now. Some people don't know.
Right.
Some people do not have one black friend. So they don't know. And so there's a serious learning curve going on.
Yeah.
And so I have to maybe suggest that, like, I need to provide some grace for the people who want to learn and want to do better. Because there's a lot of them right now, and quite frankly, they don't know what the heck to do.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah.
I had a friend who reached out to me, and she's Caucasian, and she said, hey, I'm thinking about donating to a charity. Which one should I donate to?
Didn't know.
And she actually found, of course I sent her like Black Lives Matter, but she actually found like a really cute charity out of like this local, like San Antonio, but it sends black girls to camp.
Oh, wow.
For the summer.
Ooh.
And I was like, I love that.
Yeah.
Because it's local, it's direct.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, I didn't even think of that. Like I was thinking so much more on a global scale.
Such a good idea.
And
That is a really good
she
idea.
saw that, and I was like, you're awesome. You've always been awesome, per usual.
Yeah.
Right.
She knows who she is. But she just said, I'm sorry if I ever came off as this. My experience in life is just different. I see through a different lens.
Yep.
And I said, but you're trying.
Yeah.
And your intent is there.
Yeah.
Because just because you don't experience life in one lane doesn't mean I don't.
Right.
You can't minimize that. And it may not seem real, you can't fathom it, but it doesn't mean it's not there.
Right.
So I was so appreciative to her. So
Yes.
kudos to her.
Yes.
That's huge.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
That's really good.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something we all can do.
Yeah.
Like to maybe find
just-
like a donate, somewhere to donate.
But I love how
Good.
directly impactful that is. Because you're right. I feel like when it's time a donation or something like that, you want to think on a big scale, like a
Right.
NAACP or just
Yes.
something huge.
That's what-
But
yeah.
it's amazing, even with the Venus Files, and we talked about this before we started. If we impact one person.
One person.
If one person watches the video and they're like, "Oh man, what Carmen said is so lit,"
Yes.
like that was such a good point. You know what I mean? Just
Right.
feel like
Honestly.
if one person gets it, then we made a difference that
Absolutely.
day. So maybe that's how we extend our moments of joy to other people. Like, how do you make one person smile?
That's
And it's
true.
not gonna fix the world,
Yeah.
but shoot, that person smiled that day.
Right.
Many
right.
efforts make such a huge
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
For sure.
Feel better
I
already.
know,
Agreed.
that's awesome. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, I haven't had any friends back home in Arizona to reach out to me. I had one of my very, very close childhood friends. She's Hispanic, and she did reach out to me. But my boss, she's Caucasian, and she did sit. She brought me into her office, set me aside, and was just like, "How are you?
That's awesome.
Mentally, emotionally, physically?"
Yes.
She's like, "How
How
are you?
nice is she?
What can I
acknowledged
do?"
you?
Right.
She's like,
Ooh,
"Teach me. I
love
want to
it.
learn. If you think of any ideas that we can have meetings with the whole,
Right.
like the
That is-
staff."
that's really
I
good.
know. And she's like, "I know
That's
our
amazing.
company has
Really
not,
good.
put out a statement, but I want you to know that we don't stand for that. If there's any patients or any other staff members, anything, you let me know, because we're not standing for that."
That's awesome.
So kudos to
Wow.
you as well. You know who you are.
Right.
Thank you. We sat there, we cried together,
That's awesome.
and it was just, I needed that. I didn't know, I was crying at home and stuff, dealing with everything, but going to work, you go in, you put on your face,
Yeah,
you
you
do your
do.
job.
Yep.
Yes.
So for her to ask me that, I just came out, it was just I've been holding it in, I'm waiting to get off work so I can cry. But,
We are holding so much in.
Yes,
we
And you
are.
always hear the quotes all the time that black women carry everything on our
Yes.
backs.
Yes.
We are more. Listen, I'm tired. You know, so but how nice it must have been to be able to release that
Yes.
in a different setting.
In a different
because we hold
setting.
on to so
That's
much
so true.
stuff.
Yes.
And it being welcomed.
Yes.
Not criticized as you being like the angry black woman.
yes.
Yeah, I think that's so
It
awesome.
gave you a platform to just really
Yeah.
just say, this is how I feel.
Yes.
And it's not that you can change or I can change it.
Right.
It's just giving me the space to do that.
Yes.
Because a lot of people are having a difficult time being at work with everything that's going on. So that's pretty good that she
Yeah.
pulled you to the
Right.
side, because
Yeah.
it's like, this is my place of work, and my boss,
Yeah,
came to
no,
me
she came
and
to me.
acknowledged what's going
She
on.
did,
That's
and
so
she's-
important.
Yeah, she even said if you need a mental day, she's like, I'm all for
That
mental
is
health, so if you need a
amazing.
mental day.
That's huge.
And I'm like, for that, like, I know the company worldwide hasn't, like, said anything, but for that, I just appreciate it. And made me feel, like, confident in the company I'm working
Yeah,
for.
she values you
She-
as an employee and a person.
A
Yeah.
person.
As
She
a
acknowledged
per-
you as a person.
Because
And
your
that's
life is
big.
more than just
Right.
you working.
Working.
there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I love that. I think we're also blessed in the regard that we do have these husbands to love on.
Yes.
Because I'll do this when I get home. I haven't asked him how he is. Because as much as I'm scared for him, he could be terrified.
Yeah.
So maybe we could love on them a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I asked mine, and he says he's trying not to like watch and like all the news or be so much consumed with social media, to just try not to think about it, because it is always on their mind, or at least his mind. I should speak for him. It is always on his mind. But I think me and you, Carmen, we may have talked about it. It's just, I feel like from like our stance, it's happening to men and women, black men and women, but more so the men, and we're left with the pieces to have to put together.
Together. Yeah.
And so I feel like our emotions that's tied to it, it's just like we're thinking like, what if this happened? How do I get back up and
then not be angry, and then still look at that entity as someone who is supposed to protect and serve.
Yeah.
Because of course, if you need them, you still have to dial that number. You don't know who you're gonna get.
I know.
That's terrifying.
Yeah,
That is
and
so terrifying.
so yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I ask my husband all the time, how do you feel? But he's just kind of like, I don't think I'm his person that he wants to like put all that off onto me. So
Maybe he doesn't want to instill worry in you.
I think that's what it is.
Because we should have also take that into account
Yeah.
too. They may are talking to their friends
Yes.
about
And
it.
they may be trying to protect us.
Yeah.
Because, they're the husband,
I truly believe that's how my husband is. He's like, oh, I'm mad, but But I'm like, just on a mental level, like, you gotta go to work, you deal with mental health, and then you black man, like, how you feel, I'll just be like, I know it's more to it, but he just doesn't want to open up to me.
He's just trying to protect you,
Yeah.
And still processing himself, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but he needs to talk to somebody about it.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
pressure.
And I do, because I worry about my husband, because he's loud and
And happy.
and passionate. So I'm like, they see that, and it's like, oh, big black man. And
Yeah.
it's like, no,
Correct.
I promise you, he's a geek. He likes electronics and but
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, still perception.
Yeah.
It's all about perception.
because I saw another post, and it was like two young black boys holding up a post saying, "When did we stop being cute?"
When
did we
become a threat?
When did we become a threat? So it's just
Terrifying. And especially from a parent standpoint, it's like if you were to have a son, I'm not in that position, but I can't even imagine how that.
Right.
And when
Must
do you
feel.
have that conversation with them? Or how do you have that conversation with
Right.
them? Like, you can't play with these types of toys because of these reasons.
Yeah.
But so and so, well, you just can't. I
Yeah.
can't really explain to you
Explain.
why, because
Yeah.
I don't really know why. It's just, you just can't. So, I mean,
And I know your girls are still pretty young, but as far as like dolls, do you guys incorporate all color of dolls, or
we haven't gotten there yet, because
Right,
now she's
it's
still
still-
playing with
yeah.
stuffed animals.
Yeah.
okay?
So,
Mine is playing with the remote.
and that too.
Best thing.
Okay. So oblivious. And I think I should have answered with that as far as moments of joy. Look through life from a child. I mean, like, next time you
That
have
is
some
good.
time, go lay on the ground. Seriously, go lay on the ground and look around
That
and look
is
from
so
that
good,
perspective.
Stephanie.
Everything
That
is so
is
big.
so good.
There's so much opportunity.
I do too.
Like, go down low and look up.
Let's all
There's so much opportunity from down
absolutely
there
love that.
because you're so small. And so the little things that she discovers and gets excited about, that's what makes me smile. Because
Come
all
on
the
now,
expensive
Stephanie.
stuff.
It's always just something
That's
like,
a word.
That
Like,
is the worst. I'm about to lay on the floor. and
Don't
just-
let. That's everyone's homework. Every week I'm going to
Yes,
provide
I'm
homework.
telling
Okay,
you,
just
right.
crawl around,
Right.
crawl around, and look at things
And
from
see.
the corner of the room, and
so
there's
good.
so much room for
You're
opportunity.
like, I never noticed that.
Right. Oh.
The stuff like the outlet, like that's what she's excited
Yeah.
about. Or you know those little door stopper things.
Oh yes.
Her whole operation. Like, so just, life's so easy when you're 9 months.
Yeah.
But as far as, to answer your question, as far as dolls are concerned, we'll have all the dolls. Just because when it's
Absolutely.
time for that, you need to see them
You
all,
need to
because
see
the
them.
world is
world
not.
looks like
This has
that.
been my new quote. The world is not an HBCU.
No.
Okay, it's not.
good.
And
That's
as
so
much
true.
as you would love it to be, if you went to an HBCU,
Right,
you
right.
understand that. It's just not.
not.
So you need to know that there's a little bit of
So
everything
true.
everywhere.
It's so true.
So no, she'll see it. She'll see all of
I
them.
love that, Stephanie.
Yeah,
I
me
really do.
too.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
we just take it one day at a time.
That's
One day,
it.
okay, we do one moment of joy at a time. If you
That's
have a little
right.
journal, maybe write down,
Yeah.
today this is what made me happy.
Yeah.
So on the day that you are not happy, you can go back to that journal page and say, you know what, I was happy on
Happy on the-
Tuesday because I had spaghetti.
There you go.
understand? Whatever brings it in.
Yeah.
And I need that
Stephanie.
dance, like that. Like you do, like
Yes. You know what? Somebody sent, I'm going to try to, let's see if we can tag it to the video. There was literally a video that's called Black People Laughing.
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you see that?
Yeah, and those when they
Oh.
were weak.
Instant joy. Like they
Yeah.
were cracking up,
I need to
crying,
see that
laughing.
video.
And I'm telling you, you can't help but to laugh.
Yeah.
And you don't even know what they're laughing about.
Yeah.
You don't even have to. You don't have to.
But that
Okay.
made such a difference.
See, yeah, I want to.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
want to watch
we're
that.
gonna find it. We'll post it and
Yes.
share it with you because it added value to my day. That
Good.
day.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Oh, it's
Me
so
too.
good. It's so good. I'm so glad we talked about
Me
this.
too.
Yeah,
Me too.
yeah.
It was necessary. It's
Very.
timely.
Very necessary.
I'm hoping that in 10, 15 years, when my daughter watches this, she can see what was
Yes.
going on and see how much things have changed.
Yeah.
But I mean, things are, my therapist told me this past week. If you're in a sad point or if you're having a moment, just remember that's how you feel right now.
Right.
That's how the situation right now. Never
Right.
lose hope in what's to come. And I know
Right.
number 44, Barack Obama, our president, he used to, that was his whole line, was hope.
Hope.
Yes.
That's so true.
And that's, I mean, with what's
Yes.
going on, that's what we need.
yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Good chat, y'all.
Yes.
Good chat. Thanks for joining
Awesome.
us.
Thank you.
See y'all soon. Bye.
Bye.